Welcome to Kinky Catboy. Have you ever wondered what your choice of underwear might actually tell about you as a person? Today's topic is about what's underneath your pants. We are talking about undies, and my little brother Yuke was kind enough to share with us his personal insight about this very cute and adorable kink. And let me tell you, I was actually very surprised on what your underwear might actually say about you from the viewpoint of a kinkster. Are you interested to see what your underwear choice might imply? Let's hop in and find out. Enjoy! Hello everyone, welcome to Kinky Catboy. I've brought a very special guest for tonight, and a very interesting and actually very adorable topic. So next to me is my little bro, Yuki Show, who's also a
Hello.
VTuber. Do you quickly want
Yeah.
to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, guys. I am Yukisho, neighborhood gamer catboy VTuber. Yeah. I stream on Twitch and I play lots of games, and I also dabble in ASMR, and I also dabble in lots of gay stuff. So, yeah.
By the way, I'm drawing connection here. Lots of gay and cute VTubers with kinks do the ASMR stuff. I might see a pattern now.
I wonder.
I
What could it
wonder.
mean?
So, as always, we'll focus on one very special kink tonight. Do you want to explain which kink we are talking about tonight?
uh, well, as much as I would like to actually tell you all of my kinks.
Which probably are plenty.
Mm-hmm. I do have one very particular kink that that I hold very dear. And are you guys ready? Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
We're gonna talk about undies, underwear.
Undies,
Mm-hmm.
underwear. That is honestly actually very fitting and very adorable.
Well, not just adorable, but like um flip the switch in your mind, and it can also be used very in a very sexy way. So
Mm. So, I mean, undies. What kind of undies do you like? Is there like a special preference? Are there any undies that you like or don't like?
oh my god, there's like so many. It varies from person to person actually for me. But I can confidently say that, briefs are always a classic.
Briefly.
Boxer briefs are always good too. Boxers and oh my gosh, I love jock straps.
Oh, the tangas for boys.
hmm
Kind of.
Yeah. And of course there's also like speedos and thongs, those are great too. But like if there's any underwear that I don't like actually, it's like those large one piece underwears. What do you call
Ah,
them? Uh,
unitards maybe? Some. What,
no,
is that still underwear?
leotards? No, no,
Ah,
mankinis.
Mankini.
Yeah,
I didn't know that's the thing.
you know those like it's like a one piece swimsuit for guys, kind of, but like they're very thin and they go from your shoulder in like a V form down to your crotch, and it's like a bikini, but it's like it looks tight. It's like it's not that good for me. No.
Okay. So for you, it's better to stay with like the classic look, like a short look. Do you
Oh
prefer
yeah.
maybe a baggy or tighter underwear then?
Hmm. I think I lean towards more the
Hmm.
tightness of
hmm.
it. Yeah.
I kind of would have guessed so because I mean, when I think of people liking undies, I think of the classic briefs, boxers, maybe swimsuit, swim gear in a way, like
Mm-hmm.
speedos.
Oh
Mm,
yeah.
how do you separate it from any kind of other underwear or do you draw a line what you consider underwear and for example in contrast to shorts so to say?
Well, um, when you think about boxers, they're like just about the same length as say if you were to wear shorts. I just kind
Yeah.
of consider boxers like second shorts. So boxers, while
Ah,
they do good in modesty, they uh don't do very well for sexy appeal, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't really call boxers too close to the undies family, but it is there still. But you know, there's also those mankinis and leotards. I guess they wouldn't be, well, except for the mankini. Leotards are kind of like, what you wear in a circus act, I guess.
Ah, yep,
Um
yep, yep. Mm-hmm.
so but it is pretty much like the only clothing that you are wearing. So it technically, like, it's the first layer. So
Mm-hmm.
technically it is an underwear, but
Oh,
it's not the same as, when a man takes his shirt off and his pants off, and then there it is.
the first layer, like that's a actually good definition, or that would work for me, in a way, because yeah, if you think about underwear, it needs to go under something else, so it's not
Right.
standalone clothing, so to say, or it would kind of, mm, it would be weird if it were standalone clothing. Like of course you can wear pants without underwear, but probably more uncomfy, I guess, or more unusual, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Can you explain me the main fascination about it?
So, well, as lit as I am, you might expect that I would say that the main fascination would be the bulge, you know?
Oh, yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while the bulge is most definitely enjoyable, it is actually not the most interesting thing for me. So instead, um, with underwear, it's actually identifying the guy's personality through their underwear.
Oh,
I like
that
to
is
play,
interesting.
yeah, I like to play like a guessing game with the guy's personality, because did you guys know that the type of underwear can actually give tells to your life experiences and your preferences?
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah. I've pretty much learned it over the years, or at least some common tells about your personality, the your behaviors, because based on your underwear. Like, I see a guy just acting all like a bro, and all bromance and stuff, and just very outgoing. And then if I happen to, I don't know, catch him in a locker room later, and then I see that he's actually wearing boxers, and I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, that says a lot.
I mean, that's what you would kind of expect, right? Like, if I let's say consider what they like typical bro guy would wear, it would be boxers because they have kind of like a cool appeal. If for example, same guy suddenly wears briefs, it would be something maybe more surprising because, well, okay, I would probably connect briefs more to someone who kind of gives up a more tame vibe, like I don't know. It's okay. Please don't bonk me Mommy bought his clothes, so that's why he's wearing briefs, even though he's like a cool guy. Boxers seem more like the cool thing to wear. Then again, like speedos or tighter underwear, more like something would either a cute guy wear or someone who's more on the tame side, I guess. But that's just my
Hmm.
assumption. Is that going the right direction or completely off?
Well, not in my personal opinion, but you are getting the hand of this. Like, yeah, the personality and how their behavior can completely change, like, based on their change as well. Like, if the same guy who was wearing boxers decided to wear a speedo, well, something has definitely changed, and we don't know what it is. But upon observation of that guy after he wears the speedo, he would probably be like very well, if it's the same outgoing guy, maybe he'd be even more like shy, actually. Like,
Hmm.
and look like he's very curious, very new to whatever's going on around him. Maybe he decided to go clubbing one night for the first time, and he decided to wear something a bit more sexy. So,
Ah.
but you know, for on other kinds of people, that's kind of speedo would actually be more seen on the outgoing type as well. So it really just depends on who it is and how well you can observe them.
So does it say a lot about, let's say, for example, if they have a certain kind of color, if they're like more
Oh yes,
classic
colors
black
too.
white or more
Uh-huh.
colorful?
The
Does it say?
fabric, even like how soft it is, how soft it is
Oh,
to wear,
true.
how soft it is to touch from the outside, and even like the brand name, if it has a brand name as well. Like everyone's favorite tidy whities are like, oh, I for the loom. Sorry. Um, and then there's also really nice uh apparel for like like a line of gay men brand names as well.
Oh,
Um,
so you can even recognize maybe
mm-hmm.
the preference this way if they wear like a certain brand.
Yeah.
Ah,
Brand names can affect the how how all that too.
interesting, interesting. I mean, of course, then also the fabric makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
If someone wears like classic fabric or more something like satin, I guess. And I guess the one thing that would be kind of obvious is like, let's say you have your bro guy or like a normal regular guy, and you see him in the locker room, and suddenly he's wearing panties. He might be a femboy. He might
Oh
be
yeah.
cross dresser actually. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, I guess that's more obvious at this point, but I never thought about briefs actually showing you so much about your inside, like your how the
Mm-hmm.
way you tick in a way, which is honestly fascinating, and I kind of get this kind of appeal. That is super interesting.
Yeah. Now, while it does give some tells, there's actually a lot of tells. It's just more about you still have to get to know them on the outside before you can narrow it down more. Like on one hand, if you wear briefs, there's like two different meanings actually for me, the more common.
Hmm.
So for gays, for gay men, if you wear briefs, it's the equivalent of wearing lingerie
Oh,
because
okay.
briefs aim to like boost the the sight of your bulge and
Oh,
also draw eyes from the backside as well to that very very perky ass of yours.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if you're not gay, then you're straight or bottom. Because for non-gays, they keep your precious parts very tight packed and
Hmm,
yet still breathe very well. But
hmm.
if you're still wearing briefs at a late time of your life, then you might also just be very inexperienced or don't have a lot of experiences, and you're probably not very confident in yourself, in how to express yourself in different ways. But yet that's okay because you're still trying to like conform with the norm while at the same time you're trying to decide on what to wear that feels more sexy to you. So yeah, it's the dichotomy of like guessing what kind of man it is when you see these briefs or just any other kind of underwear. It's like a fun little game to me. That's what I find the most fun about underwear. Besides, the bulge.
But it's honestly super, super interesting. And by the way, one of the reasons why I do these talks because it's so fascinating, and it gives you such a different perspective about things, like even mundane thing of like underwear or briefs. Um, and indeed, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Well, I wonder if I actually can tell right now, but um, I mostly wear like, I guess, boxer briefs. Are those called like the tight ones, which are not completely short, but like stretch a little bit over the thighs, just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, those are like brief but just like longer. And they do like reach the thighs at least. Um
Okay, then that's actually what I wear because they feel comfy.
oh, Frisky.
What the what?
No.
Wait. What did you expect what I was wearing underneath?
Well, I mean, like maybe do you wear boxer briefs normally? Or
Normally, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
I haven't worn briefs like in a long time, but boxer briefs quite
mm,
quite
I
often.
I honestly was expecting like panties.
In fanboy mode, yes, yes. Let's say I do own a few simply because wait, should I have told that? Well, but well, let's say I'm a fanboy, so of course people well
But
ask me
okay,
too.
so then what is this boy mode right now? Just Catboy and you wear boxer briefs? Come on.
I will
Okay.
reconsider my actions.
Here's my judgment on boxer briefs real quick.
Yeah.
You're just average. I'm
Hmm.
sorry. You're just mid.
Oh, is there like a tier list? Like, okay, that's super interesting. Like, do we have a tier list of different underwear?
Well, um I mean there's all sorts of tier lists when it comes to like the specifications of wearing it. So, um like if you were to wear if you were to tell me you wore briefs right now instead of boxer briefs, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that fits your bottom. But like,
I
if you
have.
were to tell me you're wearing a thong or jockstrap, that means like you're very daring and you're super confident in yourself.
I'm
So,
absolutely not confident myself.
okay,
But again, makes a lot of sense because boxes are like very revealing, and yeah, like if you're like very positive about your body, then that's I guess what you might prefer to wear. It
yeah,
kind of makes sense even from the outside. And well, for briefs, I would say they're just like cute because they kind of and, okay, honestly, oh god, I just noticed they actually might fit my normal attire because I don't. What do I wear? Like normal t-shirts, overalls, short shorts, stuff like this. I guess briefs would fit to that. Um, Boxer briefs only partially. Huh.
oh
Interesting.
yeah. I guess it also depends on like your outer clothing because you don't want to wear complicated underwear when you also have say complicated outer layers as well. You probably want it simple so that way it's easier to take off later as well.
True.
Um,
True.
yeah. So again, there's just like so many different ways to judge how someone wears the underwear or chooses what kind of underwear, both on based on like their inside personality and their outside choice of clothing. So it's just super fun.
Makes a lot of sense. So, how does a typical fantasy that you enjoy look like?
A fantasy?
Yeah, involving
Oh.
underwear.
Well, evolving underwear. Well, you know that technique where like you're on stage and where you imagine the audience is in their underwear so you don't get stage fright?
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much do that same thing whenever I go out in public.
Oh.
So like, whenever it's just I'm not doing anything that's busy, I like to observe other guys, their demeanor, like how they're just acting standing still or just sitting or whatever. And then I just imagine them in their underwear doing their business. It's it's kind of a bit like foreplay for me actually. Because
Oh.
like once I already know the kind of underwear they're wearing, I can infer from their personality and their taste, and it makes it more easy and also exciting to interact with them. So,
Because you kind of understand them a little bit more on a, like, let's say, psychological level. Because you can
yeah.
see if he's confident or more timid.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Huh. And, like, I actually encountered a friend of mine who also had like a big thing for undies, like especially I think colorful, like playful undies, and he told me that he likes to smell them, to taste them a little bit, like on his partner's body, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is that also something that you can relate to in a way?
Oh yes, definitely the smell and taste are also great aspects to enjoy. Although I typically don't get the chance often because once the underwear is down, I'm pretty much, focused on something else.
It's
if you know what I'm
kneecaps.
saying.
No, really. Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay. There's like just a short moment on, I guess, where you can actually enjoy them. So would you maybe even prefer if your partner, let's say you cuddle and uh you undress a little bit. Would you prefer
Uh-huh.
if he keeps the underwear on for a bit longer so that you can enjoy that part a bit more before you move to the next step?
Oh, most definitely, yes. That is one of the best parts about cuddling is like it's it's that build up, that teasing build up. You're just cuddled together very close and close enough for your underwears to be touching.
Mm, mm.
Uh maybe a little help from the bulges. So, yeah, and then you get to just, you're rubbing their body, caressing them, and you also just happen to feel their underwear. Feels very nice. Or it's also just like teasing you as well, because again, it's their first line of defense before um
Ah,
the main course. So,
true, true. Huh. Also, there's still the aspect of curiosity maybe involved, or at least something that I could
yeah,
imagine or relate to.
curiosity.
Yeah.
Curiosity too, because um you don't know how much. I mean, maybe you could, but maybe you don't know how well that underwear is restricting that bulge, and so
Oh,
it just builds in your mind. How big is it?
never
You
thought
know,
about that. But makes
and
sense, of course.
that's an exciting thought. You know.
I mean, if you wear shorts, or if wears shorts, then there's still maybe it's not that much visible yet. If he wears shorts or briefs, so to say, or boxer briefs, then yeah, indeed it could be restricted and also not show his full potential.
Yeah,
Interesting.
not showing full potential. That means he still got cards to hide, and it maybe even makes you eager to want to dig down deeper and put the effort into finding out what he's hiding. So that's also fun too.
Interesting. Also, how did you encounter it, or were there any certain encounters in your life that got you into this when you realized that you like briefs or undies?
Well, actually, how it all started, how I started getting into underwear was actually when I was just a wee little kitten, a little kitten boy.
Mm-hmm.
When I experienced my first time undressing around other boys in middle school gym class.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it applies to anywhere else. I don't know if everyone else's schools are different, but like, um, the first time I ever got to undress in other boys was in middle school. And I think around that time, I actually watched on cartoons that at a boy at such an age would get bullied if he wore tidy whities, white briefs.
Oh, yep, yep, yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
to my surprise, it actually happened.
Oh, okay.
So but thankfully not to me. It happened to someone else. Although I did feel bad for them.
Oh.
But I did used to wear tidy whities. Uh, but I managed not get seen like the first few times undressing and changing to my gym clothes until I asked my family to buy me some boxers. And
Mm.
that way I would be able to calmly change my gym clothes. But anyways, after that experience of like being judged by others for their choice in underwear, it's stuck with me ever since. They're like I know like for several more years I'd be taking gym class, so I'd probably still have to wear something that's a bit less revealing and not tease worthy. So boxers and even boxer briefs. I was also mid in high school. Yes, I admit to that. But it has stuck that experience has stuck with me ever since. And also, I've just been observing other guys' underwear choice as well in the meantime when it came to changing clothes in a locker room. And I definitely saw a pattern with like how those boys acted in their personalities, and it just made me. It just helped me pick up on the fun features of all different kinds of undies, like the color they're wearing, how like is it common or is it expressive, like Pride rainbow underwear,
Mm.
or
Sure.
is it look soft to touch, or is it inviting, is it trying to keep people away or something, all that. So yeah, it has stuck with me since a very young age.
Yeah. Which is, by the way, a common thing I've even noticed within like the first three episodes already, that most people so far have told me that they, well, like all of the people I interviewed so far, kind of discovered the kinks like on a very early age, and I would say that goes for my kinks as well. That I kind of discovered them very early, and then at some point they kind of evolved in a way, became more mature or maybe toned down a little bit, but kind of makes sense.
Oh,
It repeats again
yeah.
um,
Like, well,
the yeah.
kinks typically do stem from like some kind of past experience, and if it was like super interesting you back then, maybe you're just probably feeling some kind of nostalgia and then you're reliving it. But then you realize, oh, it's like your thing you want to do every day if possible.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. And so a key moment was that point in the locker room. You saw other boys in the underwear, but also I guess one boy being teased for wearing tidy whities. And
Yeah.
and I kind of can relate to that in a way, as I also felt like there's like cool clothing someone can wear and more like embarrassing clothing. Like the cool guys probably all wore boxers already,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got uh, um, other boys or guys in school who yeah still wear something like tidy whities, which is a bit more on the embarrassing side. I mean I watched cartoons back then as well, so it was a common trope, especially also I never. I never really understood it in hindsight, but like the whole wedgie things, like super common in cartoons from back then, and often involved like tidy whities. So like you get
Yeah.
this character kind of being grabbed on by their underwear and kind of embarrassed in public a little bit. So that's I guess is that also a bit part of the appeal?
Um. Yeah. It's just, it's like someone who's wearing tidy whities. They still haven't had many experiences in their life to feel more confident about themselves, and from hindsight, I guess, it makes you kind of like want to help them be more confident in themselves, help them be more outgoing and expressive. I guess. I don't know, you just kind of like just want to reach out to them and hug them, be their friend, you know?
God, that's
So,
freaking adorable. But yeah, it makes so much sense. Of course, you kind of want to be there for them and give them a bit more confidence. But
yeah.
you still might want to, well, keep them on wearing tidy whities, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Also, character development through underwear change. Kind of interesting,
Ah,
but
yes.
yeah, makes sense.
Character development, best part. We
Um,
got to help them reach their character development phase, and then they become the protagonists of their story.
and also, what fantasies also involve, kind of playing with the underwear in a way. Again, maybe wedgies, maybe a spank on the butt, or touching it in some way.
Oh yeah, most definitely the touching and all that. It's the physical contact. Now, I don't know about spanking on the underwear. I'm more about the spanking when the underwear's off, but
Okay.
I definitely can see how spanking with underwear on can still be appealing. I guess wedgies, they're not really my thing, but I can kind of infer that people who like wedgies actually, maybe it relates to pain or experience. It's
Oh.
like a masochism kind of thing,
Mm-mm-mm.
maybe,
It is
or
pretty painful after all.
yeah, or they wanted to experience something they've never experienced before in their life, but very very curious. So like maybe
Mhm.
they never got bullied in school, and um, so they never got bullied in their early life, but now later they became a masochist and want to get bullied, I guess.
Aw. It's
So
just kind of cute.
yeah, so there are definitely some very different kinds of experiences, ways to in, enjoy underwear in a different way. So
Are there also any kind of feelings or emotions that excite you with it, that you connect to it? I mean, we already touched down on, let's say, the more analytical part, but is there also more an irrational, emotional feeling part
uh
about it?
oh well, definitely it rises some sexual emotions, I suppose.
Mm. True, yeah.
Yeah, so like the personality guessing game is like fun, but like when it comes to exciting emotions, it is definitely the bulge that hides away behind the undies. So
Hmm.
like, just imagine you're with a guy, a really cute guy, and then he drops his pants. And then you look down and you immediately judge how big that bulge is. And why is it like that? You're asking yourself, why is it like that hiding behind the undies? the best part is like, the underwear is restricting it. Is the underwear tight enough? Is it doing its job, or is it just about kind of poking out at some hole? Is the
Oh.
beast ready to be unleashed? But also, how cute or sexy is that underwear pattern? How does it feel to maybe grab it just from the outside? And so many questions happen in that very instant. So it arises like a lot of feelings and emotions from that 3 seconds.
Mhm.
And you get your answer quickly when the guy when your partner just lets you be able to touch it, or if he pulls his underwear down. And not just that, it actually happens to myself as well when I wear my own underwear. um I actually happen to have very soft underwear myself,
Oh.
made with microfiber, if you guys know how that feels.
Mhm.
And whenever I do sleep in my underwear, because especially since it's like warm weather right now, and just rubbing it up against my bed, it's very comfy and it feels very nice in more ways than one. So
Ah,
there's
that-
definitely a lot to feel from underwear.
which I guess also makes it a very well um, thankful kind of kink because you can easily live it out. Mostly everyone wears some kind of underwear,
Hmm.
and it's actually a kink that you can actually live out. When last episode was about war and macrophilia, which is a kink that you can also only live out fictionally in a way. Oh,
Hmm.
and so I guess underwear, briefs, boxers, this kind of stuff is something that you, well, yeah, can live out
Yeah.
every night in a way, even if it's just on yourself, but you can still enjoy wearing it. That is
Hmm.
actually pretty cool. Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Are there any mundane things that you connect to a kink? Like, again, we mentioned cartoons earlier, like the Saturday mornings watching cartoons in Undies. Is that is there anything that you connect to it? If you see, for example, wardrobe or anything that you connect to Undies?
I mean, if it's everyday things, it's just when I'm going out, I see men every day. And then there's also the sleeping thing when I'm in bed sleeping. I mean, you can't avoid looking at yourself, looking down at yourself, and seeing, oh, I'm wearing that tonight. It's gonna be a very comforting night.
Cute. And are there also things that remind you of it in movies, anime, everyday the items? For example, one thing comes to my mind is, for example, let's say it might be a bit cliche. I'm sorry if it's a bit cliche, but superhero movies or superhero cartoons where you actually had like popular superheroes wearing undies over anything else, um, which also actually might interest me what you think about that certain topic because
that
it's pretty common
I,
in American.
I cannot feel anything for that actually. When superheroes wear those like Superman. He's
Yeah,
wearing that red over his blue. I can't really call that underwear
because
because
it's
it's
not
it's not
under.
technically underwear. Yeah.
Yeah,
So like, while sure, maybe if you look at it in a different way, there is, you can see a bulge, and if that's your thing, sure. But that I can't really feel as much emotion from that because it's not technically underwear, and it's not under him. He's not revealing anything. He's proudly showing it. That's a different feeling, and
ah,
I can't with that. I just cannot.
good point. That's a very good point. If I may um, get into that, um, is there also a connection with like underwear and shame, embarrassment? Because again, normally you wear underwear under something, and it's kind of embarrassing if it gets revealed. Is that also an appeal to it?
Yeah, it's also the embarrassment part as well. Like, I am very empathetic. Like, I feel a lot of emotions for other people easily. And so whenever you see someone who's very proud in showing off their assets front and back, there's not really much you can do about it. Uh, you want to reach out to them, but they're already reaching out to other people with their outgoing personality.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
there's not really an opportunity for you. But then you see someone who's like, maybe say, uh, a cute nerd in college who's just like being bullied a lot, but then you see that he's wearing that same kind of like briefs. And then he's very shy about it. It's like, oh, he's so adorable, and you just want to like comfort him and then teach him how to be more confident in himself, and also just uh you're in college, you're probably gonna have fun with him, and you're showing him the ropes, you're teaching him, and you're helping him be more comfortable and confident with himself. I think that's the most fun part for me.
Honestly, it's also the one I can relate to the most, and I find the most adorable because this kind of psychological connection and the
Yeah.
building a relationship through it.
Yeah, you build a
Yeah, that's
relationship
cool.
too, and it hits hard for demisexuals too, who build um who build on the sexuality from deep relationships.
Mm.
So
Mm. Also, a little excursus on what do you think about like special underwear, like let's say panties, let's say latex or rubber underwear? Can I think of any more? Let's go with those examples for now.
well, panties, those are definitely in the context of men, again, because we are gay. If there were men who were wearing panties, well, they're not afraid to be in touch with their more feminine side, or so they're not afraid to be expressive, and they're also very confident in themselves in a way. Or maybe they want to be perhaps dominated by someone who is more masculine.
Hmm.
Um, that's their thing, and it's totally respectable and also very fun as well. So panties are like a plus for sure. They have their own fun. Um, Latex, I've never actually really seen any like latex underwear. Do you have like an example or something?
Well, I just know that it exists and well, people wear it. And I guess so. I wonder what you could connect to it. I mean, of course, it's probably extremely expressive, a bit similar to panties, but maybe in a different way.
Yeah,
Um,
I would, from my guess, if you're wearing latex underwear, you are most definitely unique in a sort of way, and you probably more than just one kink besides very extreme kink besides latex underwear. Like you're not afraid to explore the deep ends of what makes you feel good, and you're probably like very blunt with what you want. But also, on the other hand, there's also those kinds of people can also be very seclusive. They don't want other people knowing about their latex underwear kink, maybe. Um, they might have a lot of secrets to hide.
hmm.
There's different way to go about it. It's just I personally have not had a lot of experience with people wearing latex underwear. I've never actually seen anyone wear latex underwear.
We can
So,
change that. But honestly, I like that train of thought right there because again, the psychological aspect of Kinks is actually the most interesting part for me. What people actually think or connect to it, because that's
hmm,
something that I guess only Kinksters truly can tell you or maybe understand. Maybe also something that they can easily bond over. I guess if you talk to someone else who's
yeah,
into Undies, you say, "Yeah, of course, briefs tell you that. Of course, boxers tell you that." While an outside person might, well, not understand it directly, or maybe even at all. Who knows? And I find that super interesting. Is this also a kink that you would rather enjoy in 2D, like anime artworks, or more in real life on yourself? Or is
I,
both the
I
same one?
I love both because say like I've already told you about my like real life experiences, like just going out,
Mm-hmm.
seeing other people, seeing other men, and then just
Mm-hmm.
they're wearing different kinds of underwear, or you get to imagine them wearing different kinds of underwear. It's the fun of it, and you get to guess their personality. With 2D though, their personality, like in like video games or books or movies or like that, their personality is already kind of defined, so you can't really change it much without going off canon. But it's still great in 2D. Because usually if you do happen to find them in underwear, they're usually given underwear that fits them well. Like
True, true.
so say for example, Legend of Zelda, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all know everyone's favorite twink Link.
Mhm.
Especially from his latest Tears of the Kingdom edition. So they actually give him boxer briefs in the
Which,
game.
which I would kind of like expected, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's we're not meant to like explore Link's sexy side. He is on an adventure. He's trying to be comfortable and flexible at the same time because he still has to go out in the
Mhm.
in the in the world and fight monsters and all that, and still have to have the agility for all
Spotty.
that.
Mhm.
But like, you can also find 2D art somewhere. I've actually saw like Link in a speedo swimwear, and it actually
Ah.
fits really nicely with those features. So yeah, in a 2D world, anything can happen, and most of the time it's really enjoyable.
Now I am imagining Ganondorf with
Oh,
briefs. Tiny whiteys.
I don't know about that. I mean, maybe for some people, but Ganondorf wouldn't normally wear briefs. No.
Or he's probably going full commando. That's how you call it, right? If you don't wear.
Oh yeah, you know what? Underwear, we all love underwear, but then there's also the choice of not wearing underwear. That's going
Hmm.
commando. That's fun. That has its own um identifiable features as well. Commando is really fun.
Oh, so even if you okay, that's a super interesting point actually. Even if your let's say main king is briefs, even not wearing or undies, even not wearing undies is also like an interesting choice for you or something that you could still connect to your king.
Yeah, because me trying to analyze people wearing what kind of underwear they're wearing.
Hmm.
Well, suddenly I meet someone who's not wearing underwear. They just take off their clothes like, huh? Where is it? Where's the
Yeah.
underwear appeal that I'm looking for? But then it
Ah.
helps you realize that they don't need underwear to perhaps uh
Ah.
to express themselves or to hide themselves. It just tells you straight up what kind of person they are.
Super fascinating. And yeah, Ganon probably would rather wear a jockstrap. Also, now I'm actually getting it. Um, if Link were to wear a jockstrap instead, it would send a completely
Oh.
different message, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
Hmm.
If he changed from boxer briefs to jockstrap, well, for one, we can't play the game on the Switch.
True. Oh my god,
it'd
yes.
be it'd be a completely different game, and
Mhm.
but it would definitely tell people um uh, that Link has a very different personality
Mhm, mhm.
um wearing a jockstrap.
Hmm. Indeed. And again, let's also not forget that there's a lot of art out there that shows him in wearing panties, anyways, because
Oh
Link
yeah.
is our everyone's favorite drink and fanboy, I guess.
Yeah.
Hmm. Also, what is your favorite media to consume for your king? Like, is it predominating in, let's say, manga or movies or comics?
Oh, it's actually gonna be video games themselves.
Oh,
So, there's MMOs or
yeah.
just games in general that if it's ever possible to customize your character, you know?
You always
Well,
see them in Undies, of course. Yeah, you're right.
you can, but also sometimes they start out with clothes. But then I
Mhm.
always see if I can strip my character and just run around and have fun with it.
Yeah, it makes sense because well, they can't show the characters naked, so they have to put some kind of underwear on them anyway. So basically, every game where you can undress your character in a way, well, they deliver right at
Yeah.
your doorstep. Interesting.
Yeah, and unless it gives me like zero armor or extra damage for not having clothes, I don't try to do it for too long. But like, it's always nice to be able to just strip down and be different from like how everyone else is playing the game. And also sometimes interactions with NPCs in games can be very different if you happen to be unaware, and that's
Hmm,
always like
hmm.
funny to watch. Or it also leaves rooms for fantasies with like a really hot man NPC.
True, true, because they
So
are looking at it and they can't look away. No, no,
yeah.
they're programmed to.
Mm-hmm. You cannot avoid looking at down there, front and back.
I wonder also what kind of different under kinkster types are out there. Like, is there a different way of approaching this kind of kink?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, you know how you said you had a friend who prefers
Yeah.
to smell and taste underwear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, mine is all about seeing the underwear. So it appeals
Ah.
to our senses very differently how we approach the underwear.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Um so I I I am more like, if people prefer personality or looks, I guess I'm more personality, and so that's why I like to guess personality from people's choice in underwear.
Mhm.
But those kinkster types, they want to be able to get their hands on the underwear as soon as possible. So like imagine you're in bed with someone and then they let you go down to their underwear. Well, you're not gonna immediately drag that underwear off. That kinkster is probably gonna be like putting their face on it and just burying themselves in it.
Yeah, just nuzzling down in there. That's
hmm
what was he was into back then, and just found it very, very fascinating.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and then there's also a really unique one involving briefs.
Yeah.
So tidy white. We're going back to tidy whities, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
tidy whities can't be tidy whities forever. Unfortunately, there's gonna be some stains if you don't if you don't
Oh,
keep hygienic very well.
true,
But,
true.
but there are kinksters out there who will enjoy um doing whatever with a brief that is stained instead
Mm-hmm.
of a brief that is bleach clean.
Ah, makes sense to indeed, especially as in tidy whities, you can't really hide it. If there's a
Yeah.
stain, it's extremely visible, and true.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting. Also, I mean, they got this opening, like in the middle, this diagonal opening. Is that something that unlike Kingsters like to play with especially, or is it
Oh yeah,
um
that is something too, because you know how with boxers the opening is just like right in the middle and you don't have to take much effort to dig through.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
Like briefs, there is like a bit of effort, a bit more
mhm.
effort because it's like uh very designed
Restrictive, tight,
yeah,
yeah.
restrictive. Yeah,
Mhm,
it's meant to protect and still breathe. But then there's also with like other kinds of underwears, panties or jock straps, whatever, they don't have an opening and you just have to either pull them down or reach in and pull it to the side.
mhm, mhm,
So and some people are into pulling it out in a different way as well.
mhm. True. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Either to the side, down, maybe even up if it's again a wedgie. But
Yeah.
yeah, interesting. Now I wonder, how do you get to know like-minded kings? Is there like a secret code um, where you just know, or kind of start guessing? Hmm, could there be more to it for this person?
I guess it might mostly depend on how well you connect with the person. Like once you start doing something with them, how open you are with them, how much you are willing to let them explore you, or they let you explore them.
Mhm,
Um, like if I were to do it with some random guy, he doesn't tell me much, so it's a casual hookup. He probably um it depends really if he's willing to just explore on some random guy. But like if I were to do it with someone that I've known for say several years, well, we know each other's kinks and all, and we know how to um go down on each other's bodies
mhm,
and just how to play with each other through the underwear and all that.
mhm, mhm,
So
mhm,
I guess it probably is mostly dependent on past relationships, but also if you are mostly outgoing person and not afraid to be expressive, you'll just find out instantly from that casual hookup.
hmm, hmm. Is there any way how to recognize each other? Let's say online, if you see people liking certain kind of art or so, and you see, wait, this
Oh yeah,
person
that's
might
to
actually.
get that could tell. Yeah.
Hmm, interesting, interesting. When oh, by the way, are there also any favorite moments or funny encounters that are connected in your kink in your past, except for the first like scene that kind of made you notice that you enjoy it?
Favorite moments with my kink. I mean, besides that one kid getting bullied and like I mean, he wasn't even bullied in a good way. He was just kind of kicked around.
Oh, I feel sorry for him, but yeah, well,
uh, let's see.
kids can be cruel.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I cherish a lot of I cherish all my time whenever I spend it um being in my underwear with other guys. So every moment is a favorite. I cannot honestly recall anything too funny um or anything that really stands out. But I mean, unless you want me to tell you about my most favorite very sexual encounter, but I don't know if I should.
Oh, I wonder if that's too much for Twitch or YouTube. However, let's maybe switch then just to be safe and sure. To one question that I always find like very interesting. Let's say you're together with other guys or your partner or just friends, and you're in your underwear. For some reason, could
Okay.
be a friendly encounter, could be a romantic encounter. Do you also look at yourself to the lens of their eyes, like, but of course still to the perspective of a kinkster? Would you say, okay, would you enjoy your own view if you like
Oh,
that moment?
yes, most definitely. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So I would probably if it's a very casual, very comforting party that we don't care or actually might even care what we wear, I would most definitely be wearing a jockstrap. Because
Oh.
it's not only inviting, I mean it is inviting, and so I want to hopefully maybe in the other person's eyes, they're taking my choice as a sign, for something.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I mean, you're sending a message out with that, of course. So,
Yeah.
interesting. Also, kind of, I would have rather put you in the regard of like a briefs person, but that's just because you have this very cute look, of course. Then again, you're also very outgoing, so the jockstrap kind of makes sense, I guess, or even panties, I guess.
I mean, I
Because
do wear both. I have my own special briefs that I have artwork of it as well, and
oh,
but it's mostly for that cute appeal because it's a blue briefs with cat paws on it. It's not
mm-hmm.
meant to be sexy. It's meant to be cute.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
when I want to be sexy, I wear something different.
yep. But that, which means that you also send out different kind of messages with the kind of underwear you wear. Like for example, the blue briefs are just, well, I just feel cute. Doesn't mean and it needs to be sexy. Like which is also one thing I noticed, especially amongst, let's say, outfit kinksters. Let's say if they well, that's a hypothesis right now. If you look at someone in underwear, it's not necessarily always in a sexy mode, but just also in a, well, just a general attraction. Let's say, okay, this guy is wearing like a very unique or interesting looking underwear.
Hmm.
Doesn't necessarily arouse you, but still you find it attractive or interesting. Is that
Yeah.
the case?
Oh, most definitely.
Mm.
I'm sorry. My brain. Um. Yeah. It the color and how they're wearing it and their choice and all. It definitely affects it.
Also, is this kink somehow related to other things you might like? Like in certain combinations?
Other king.
Hmm.
Other
You
king.
can. I mean, the classic would be like you like a briefs or undies, but you also like wedgies. So you connect it. So it's a very easy fit. But often there's also connections or to other kinks which are not as well obvious, of course. But um, is there also anything that else that you connect to it?
Personally, not for me, but I can see that other guys, have the kink of, with the tidy whities again and the stain. I think there's that particular kink. I think that's like a how would I name that? Like a disorganization kind of kink, or um like a hygiene or unhygienic kind of kink as well. That's a thing.
Maybe also connected to
Um,
some kind of embarrassment, maybe?
yeah,
During,
embarrassment as well,
mm-hmm.
shame. That's
Smell, yeah,
there,
yeah.
and what else there could be? There might be the more extreme kinks like smell as well. Smell
True,
of the
true.
underwear. That can also play into hygienic or unhygienic, depending on if that guy showers often or not. And and even like say this one's a bit more on the wild side, but if you were to go out in public in your underwear as well.
True, yeah. Very
So
extremely
what is that
expressive.
called?
Exhibition?
Exhibitionism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to perhaps go out in your underwear, and or not even, you can also go out without your underwear, but just going out in your underwear, and the rush of not being caught or getting caught, that's exciting as well for people. That is definitely a king.
Mm-hmm.
um
Mm.
and I suppose even just wandering around in your house every day in your underwear, as opposed to like wearing normal clothes, you don't expect anyone else to visit you, or no one else lives with you, or you're with your partner and you could both just walk around your underwear. um that's also very fun. Hmm.
For me, I connect that with the like typical Saturday morning watching cartoons in your underwear. Well, I certainly did that as a kid. I certainly did that.
Oh, you did? Ah, that's adorable.
I was just like waking up 6 a.m. in the morning, super lazy, still like tired, but I want to watch cartoons. And then, well, you don't get dressed for that. You just lie on a couch with
Yeah,
your
there's
cat
no
and.
reason to. It's just effort for it's just muscle that you don't need to do. You could just enjoy cartoons as you are right now. Like why?
Mhm. Super
So,
interesting. Hmm. So also, did you meet so far any like fellow Kingsters, or do you guys exchange to, let's say, certain Discord servers, or are there any places to meet for you when it comes to like-minded Kingsters in that regard?
oh, I'm sure there's probably like a meetup somewhere, maybe not just on Discord, but maybe even Twitter or Facebook even. There's probably
Mm,
some kind of club for underwear people.
mm,
There's probably even branches of like smell of underwear or taste of underwear. Even maybe some people have a unique sense of taste and appeal to a certain kind of underwear feel on their tongue. There's definitely all sorts of places, but I haven't gone into any of them. I just tend to meet people who have a like for underwear, just kind of um trial by fire whenever I'm in the bedroom with them.
interesting. I mean, everyone wears undies, so that's actually a given, and or like all okay, almost everyone.
Yeah,
um,
almost everyone. Yeah.
um, again, which is like a super interesting contrast to last episode's King. Like, war is very niche, even a bit taboo, uh, so to say. And well, undies, I guess, would be rather accepted in many regards. Well, it depends on, I guess, if you're more from that unique perspective that you like tidy whities and stanches, maybe that's a bit more niche. But general underwear, I guess, is maybe not as taboo, I guess. Or
Hmm.
how did you encounter it? Or was there anything, um, or did you have any bad encounters in the way? I could imagine it's more like on the loose side when it comes to kinks, right?
Did I have any bad encounters?
Well, not necessarily. Or what if you view, um, well, underwear more like as a more accepted or more that's easygoing kink that you can maybe more easily share with your possible partners, for example.
Oh yeah, underwear is well. you can definitely talk to others about underwear more easily than say, vor.
Yeah.
Because everyone wears underwear, so like it's not an entirely taboo topic to talk about. You can just kind of even lead up to like the kink part of it. You could just be talking about what kind of underwear you're wearing just because you want to know how comfy it is.
Mhm.
Is it easy to work out in? If you were a bro talking to another bro and you both go to the gym and then you notice your bro is wearing something different than you, and it's like, hey, why are you wearing that? Is it more comfortable to work out in? Yeah, you can just kind
Mhm.
of lead up to it. But then
Ah.
uh it's then you could just after that you could just talk about um how sexy it is in bed or something, you know?
Ah. Interesting. Which again, of course, also makes it a bit more difficult um to grasp if there's like more behind it, or if they're just again wearing it for leisure or comfort. Um, it's not like, for example, when Foxy told me about the feet kink 2 episodes ago, he told us about the gaze. Like, okay, that some people just keep on staring downwards over and over again, and if you share that kind of feet kink, you kind of notice and okay, this person's staring more down there more often than one would imagine.
Oh
Might
yeah.
there be something going on? And maybe it's less obvious when it comes to underwear, but then, at latest, you can talk a bit about it more openly in the bedroom, and it's again probably not too taboo. It's more accepted.
Yeah. You you can talk about underwear in public. That's one thing about the freedom of it because it's not too shameful of a topic, it's not too taboo of a topic. So the fact that it's just available to speak about at any time, when appropriate, that it's just it makes it easier to get into. Of course, if you also just want to save it for talking it to someone in private in a bedroom or somewhere where no one else is around, that's also acceptable as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I have a thunderstorm.
No problem, no problem.
um,
Perfect.
and and yeah, it just makes it's the more accessible kink to get into. Um, just because it's an everyday thing,
Okay.
and you never really find yourself enjoying that it's an everyday thing until you just kind of like you realize you've been taking it for granted. It's like, it's actually much more fun to be more involved with this kind of thing than I thought. So,
Mm-hmm. Super fascinating. Again, what I take from it the most is definitely the psychological component, no? The character perspective and guessing of what might be behind the choice of underwear. I find that super fascinating, and probably might not be able to look at other people underwear the same way again. So thank you so much for this perspective.
mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for being so open and letting us well dive deep down in you, no, in your brain. But honestly, I really enjoyed that, and I hope to see you around again very very soon. Do you have any final words over to our audience?
um, not really, unless they want to know what kind of underwear I'm wearing right now. But I'm sure
Oh,
they can guess.
of course. What kind of underwear are you wearing right now?
Hmm. It's either between my very cute briefs or a jockstrap. I'll let you decide because that's the fun part of it.
Oh,
Can you guess
nice.
what kind of underwear I'm wearing? You don't know for sure unless I say so.
It's Schrödinger's underwear. You never know until you pull down the pants.
Yeah, and that's the fun part.
It could be tidy whities. It could be a tongue. You never know. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
that's like okay, Schrödinger's pants. I like that.
But
Oh,
yeah, that's it. I really enjoyed being here. Thank you so much.
thank you so much for this perfect perspective, and we will see each other again in the next episode of Kinky Catboy. Until then, let me know what kind of kinks do you want to hear about next time, and please make sure to follow this cute cat boy here, Yuki Show.
Yeah.
I put him down in the description because he's a good boy. Love you all,
Yeah.
boy.
What?
Also, definitely considered underwear would be, how do you call
Oh,
them? Fudanshi, not
oh,
fudanshi.
fundoshi.
Fundoshi. Yeah. How do you think about those?
Oh, those are great too. They're like jock straps kind of, except
Yeah.
they do what it for those that know what a fundoshi is. Um, it does ride up against your backside, uh, your valley on the backside. But that's it's off. It's trying its best to cover you, but in actuality it's not, and that's very, very, very appealing.
I considered that. Oh, damn! I should have put it in the video, but maybe I'll do a blooper or something like this because this is like a very special thing. And one thing which I also personally find very cute would be the classic sukumizu, which is basically this kind of Japanese school swimsuit. Which I wonder. Well, let's say my expectations that you kind of view it as like those unitas, leotards. Maybe it's too far from it because it kind of covers the whole upper body too. But I mean, they kind of like swimwear, but also on the cute side. Quite simple, but actually look look cute. Is it also something you could consider as cute underwear, or is it already too far off?
Wait, what did you call it?
Sukumizu, like the school swimsuits.
Oh, I've never heard it called that. I guess that is a thing. Skumizu?
It's super popular. Like Sailor Fuku Sukumizu combination is like extremely popular. Sometimes you see the sailor uniform, like a sailor shirt, like I'm wearing right now,
Uh-huh.
in without a skirt, but instead it's just like the Sukumizu showing, which is just like popular swimwear, but not a bikini, to the
It's a
contrary.
one-piece swimsuit, right?
Yeah, correct.
Oh. I think that's more on the swimsuit side, in my opinion, because
Yeah.
rather than underwear.
Mm. I mean, although you can actually wear them under stuff, but yeah, that's probably sending also a very unique message. I wonder.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, and you know what? Um, Speaking of fundoshi, there's also like another kind of festival piece.
Hmm.
I don't I don't know if there's any festivals that still exist, but like there's also the loincloth.
Hmm. Yeah, true.
And like, are you like some loincloths? It's just like a flap of paper. That's all you get to cover you.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's that kind of loincloth, but then there's also the loincloth where you will also have something actually holding onto you, just covered by that flap as well. You don't know which is which until you get a closer look.
Ah. Also extremely revealing, by the way. Like I
Very
feel like
revealing.
the the more you go back in history, more let's say to cultural undies, then the more revealing they get. Makes you wonder.
Mm.
Well, like let's say unless you have like the Victorian era where they basically wear pajamas for their underwear.
Oh, well, that's so boring.
Yeah, that's
I
a
would
bit too
hate to
much.
live in such an era.